Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday, August 22nd, 2016. Oh, and we are back at it. So, what we were working on last time was the mode map and preset things to make sure that they were set up correctly as default and they were replicating and so on and so forth. And that the drop-down menu always had the correct items in it. Which means that if a game mode didn't have access to a certain map, it would be dropped from the map list. And the presets, they vary completely by map, so they would always have to be updated every change of either map or mode. Of map. Well, either map or mode, because I guess same map but same, yeah. And it was interesting because we ended up having an issue where the drop-down menu would empty blank or end up blank in certain situations, as I'll show you in a second. Come on. There we are. So like here, the mode would be blank, and there the preset would be blank until you set it. And I'm like, okay, that's not a big deal, but you know. And I was like, oh, you know, let's ship it. And then you know, whoops. Then Mir gave me a link to the anime video, ship it. But yeah. Right, so what we may have actually done was made a mistake. I think I figured out what our mistake was though, so we may actually fix it. So I'm adding enough room to add those extra nodes. Thinking what the problem is that on the these combo boxes here, we're forgetting to reset the sorry, on those combo boxes here, we're forgetting to reset the has updated. Sorry, has changed value to false after we've updated it, so it's continually looping and changing the selection. I think that might have been what's going on. I realized that after I shut off the stream, but, you know. So we look here, when this happens, it still is replicating correctly here, so the selection probably is correct. As a matter of fact, I might even be able to inspect that. Here. No. Here on the server, the menu setup helper should be, yep, CTF chessboard 1v1, but the problem is probably that the these two combo boxes are still set to has changed, so it's continually changing or re-adding the selection. So if we I don't know why it gets into weird camera modes, but yeah. Okay, so okay, how am I actually gonna do this though? Oh, I did it wrong. I can't do that, of course. So you know what? Let's do the universal undo. Don't save anything and restart the program. Yep. Probably a little bit late to have a coffee, but, you know. Whatever. That's why you... Yeah. There we are. That's what I'm trying to find. So there, the universal undo occurred. I can fix this. Okay, so it has changed. So I need to find out where it actually does the selection. I thought it was at the end there, but it's just calling the server. which suggests it happens in the next one, so I was actually probably right. Maybe I need to do it on the comment box. Maybe that's the problem. So if has changed. Okay, so actually maybe in here we need to do that. Oh, we're not actually doing that. Okay, so in here we're doing it correctly, that's good. And we're setting it. So that has changed only affects the outside. So what my concern was if it affects whether the selection is changed. Well, if it doesn't affect whether the selection is changed, then why is it continually doing that? Okay, so you know what, we're actually going to do something else, because it seems like what I was assuming was happening is impossible. So we'll add a breakpoint. And we'll just run and we'll see. Let's lobby, good. Now here. Pause. Oh no, this is right. Oh. Okay. So that's a different problem altogether. So I thought the problem was I was continually selecting correctly. So continually selecting because it has changed. And I left myself a note for that when I thought about it, and I put it on my notes to check that next stream. But it turns out that we're not actually doing that at all. We're just not setting the selection. We're letting it handle it. Well, when the comm box changes, it doesn't know what to set it to because the setting's not there, so it just drops it. Okay, so in that case, what I need to then do is add that functionality in. I'd like to do it contained on this if possible, but I can't. So, I don't think I can at least. Let's see if I can do that. Let's see. Maybe I can. Oh, I need to actually stop that. And let's disable breakpoint. Let's actually remove breakpoint, sorry. It's not going to work exactly, is it? Because this is for a text box when I need it for a combo box. But that's okay, we can just switch it. So if current selection doesn't equal, it was originally this, but what we need is comm box host settings, get, and then it would be host options, sorry, and then get selection. selected option. And if they're not the same, then we need to not do current selection change on the text box. We need to do current selection change on the comment box. So set selection. On comment box, set selected option. There we are. Comment box host options. And then there we are. So now this should work. No, it doesn't. We will set a breakpoint here, and we'll play. We'll see what goes on here. So every tick is going to be doing that. Current value is true. Okay, so that's good. Let's stop. There we are. Toggle breakpoint. There we are. Oh, what am I doing? We want to remove. So we want to add a breakpoint there. Sure, why not? So why is this not the same? So let's try something. CDF, battle, CDF. Filter menu host. So this never evaluates false. Why does it never evaluate false? Yeah, let's try something. Trying to get it such that I see the breakpoint happen right as I change something. Because I want to see why this is not changing. So when the combo box changed set selection, it has changed true. So why is it? Am I really just spamming myself with has changed? Yeah, I probably am. Sets. Alright, so we'll just fix that. Before we do that, we need to grab all of these, move them over. I know I want to fix the bug already, but if I know there's a bug waiting, like already happening, I kind of need to fix it too, right? So don't forget about it and not fix it. Okay, so that's fine. So we're not spamming server commands each tick. Remove breakpoint. Oh, even better.
Here we go again.
The populate map combo box. No, it should be set selected.
Here we go again.
Okay, so this is interesting. This is why I'm wondering why this is not being called. So.
Here we go again.
So let's add a breakpoint here. Breakpoints. Okay. Save. Listen server. Okay.
Here we go again.
How long have I been working with UE for? About 2 years. It was shortly after it came out, just after the announced Unreal Tournament 4, I guess you'd call it.
Here we go again.
What is your freaking problem? Oh well. Oh, it started about a month ago. Nice. So what type of game are you making, or something else you're doing with Unreal Engine 4? Could be like, you know, architectural visualization or something. What is this thing's freaking problem? So the thing is that the map is being set correctly, but when we go in here and we change it, oh, I didn't remove the event breakpoint, or remove breakpoint. It just blanks out. Oh, hey for VR, but on 2D side scrollers now. Nice. Yeah, what we're working on right now is a game that's like chess, but not quite. And if you watch the YouTube video, and sorry if I'm frequently repeating myself, but yeah. So it's like chess, but not quite. So this is a chessboard map. And you select this is an old version of it, but you select a piece, and yeah, the AI moves, and then you can move side to side. Okay, that's interesting for a pawn. That's not usual. Then you can move the queen up, and you get the idea. So the reason why we allow the pawn to move sideways is because not all levels are the same. So in this case, this is an not an 8x8 grid. It's a 64x64 grid. And you only have a certain amount of range from the king to control. So if you want to access the knights, you have to move the king to the side. Thanks. And move them slowly within range of the knights. Because how this game works is from your start and end point has to be within range. And if your piece recurses, like the queen can move up 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4 space until the end, then all of the places it would have to go from point A to point B have to be in range too. So, whoops. So let's say you have a queen, and these tiles are disabled. Well, it can go here, here, or queen, I guess. It can go here, here, not here, so it stops here. It can't reach this end point, so it can only go there, 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 right? But if it's a knight, the knight can jump over the gap, so as long as its points are within range, it's fine. So that's how the movement mechanics works. Thanks, Sean. Yeah, I remember you're here. So anyway, the queen. That's basically to prevent the queen from, you know, going all the way across the map and just killing everything. But for the knight, so you see here, a knight can move any of these places. If there's a tile there, it can move there too, but it's not. But this one is still stuck. It's still out of range, so I have to move the king 1 over. And now they're both in range, so this one I can move in these places. This one I can move there or there. And the idea is that the more moves you take to get either 1 or 2 knights out, the more units you'll have going into the town, but the longer it takes for you to get into town. So maybe if the AI gets their, like, doesn't get a knight, and they just go straight for town, they can block you out from getting out this exit. So you have to then get your knights and stuff out this exit, which means you have to go through the town, which is going to have like shops and stuff here. And it'll also pressure your ability to go into here. And it pretty much guarantees that you cannot go into here and get your bishop or kill their bishop, right? So it puts the pressure on you to go there, but you get 2 more knights. So it kind of balances out in that, or at least I hope so. From there, we were working on a fix for it. Basically, it was a game jam entry. It was only 1 versus AI. But I wanted to be as open as possible, so we kind of, changed it up a little bit. But then this change up didn't port to Unreal Engine 4.12, or apparently it actually would have. I just had a broken Visual C++ project. But, yeah. So we, did the pawn sort of thing, blah, blah, blah. And you can then choose... Let's say this map had 10 spawns, it only has 2, but we pretended it had 10. We'd be able to set any number to any number of AI or players, then launch a game. And you can see it's a bit better for controllers, so if we got our controller back, whatever, there we are. Okay, well, it's synchronized. I can then move my selections up here. If I wanted to, I could just kill their king and win, but let's actually put the knight here, kill a pawn, but the king or the queen, one of the two, is going to kill my knight. So now my king is screwed, so now I have to kind of move this way. And eventually, I create a gap between, I guess not good enough of a gap. So now these kings overlap, so I can get my bishop and cross the gap and come over and take out. It'd be pointless, but let's take out this pawn, right? And I'm going to lose my bishop because the king's going to kill it, but still. Then the queen I can move up like this. And that's what I'm actually going to be a bit more cautious with. And I'm going to kill their king, which is going to remove their ability. Actually, you know what? Let's not kill their king. I'll show you why in a second. So what happens is when the king dies... Oh, I need to go one more space. I thought I was in range. So when the king dies, which this should really kill... There we are. Queen killed the king. Now I have no control on here, so I have to move my king up. And I'll probably lose my queen at that time if it's smart. Eventually the queen may... Oh, it's not 9% done. No, it's got a long way to go. Oh, got my king, my queens. Now I gotta go back. And I can't beat a queen with 3 pawns, but it was a demonstration anyway. I could have killed the king earlier, as I showed you, but I want to show what it looked like when the king lost control. I lost all that part when all went out of bounds. Yeah, game development's pretty hard. We actually had some problems with that where it wasn't going multiplayer, which we kind of fixed out. Well, it wasn't so much it wasn't going multiplayer. I mean, it wasn't. We had to fix it, and we did some changes on that. The menu wasn't multiplayer, which was a problem. It also crashed on when you try to start a second game. So if I were to close and go back to menu and start another game, it would crash on launch. Because my turn manager was broken, basically. It wasn't cleaning itself up properly, I guess. Anyway. But all that aside, how long I've been working this game? So one of the biggest problems actually with this setup, but it's also a good thing too, is that my goal is to only have this be done on stream. It's not like I'm working on this, 24/7 and then I show little bits of development. No, the goal of this game is to be a stream event, right? Something I can do on stream, which is why it's only multiplayer. So if there's only if I was doing a single player game, I wouldn't want to give away a story and stuff like that. So, but I mean, this is a game, so it's like a game, right? So I don't really care if there's no plot to spoil, right? It's just having fun, right? So everything's done on stream, which means I can only do a couple hours a week on it because I can only stream a couple hours a week. And also when you're streaming, as you can tell right now, you're not spending a lot of time in development. But the reason why I say that's a good thing is because I'm hoping that if this stream gets popular, then if this becomes a sustainable income, I can release the game for free. Because that would draw more viewers to stream, right? And that's kind of why I say it's good and bad. Because if it works out that the stream works, then I don't ever have to charge the game. I can just release it, maybe even make, not the engine because I don't have license for that, that's Epic. But the project files, I might be able to make open source, right? All the stuff that I make and I have license over, I might be able to make the open source, right? Have the people develop with me. Make little forks of it or whatever and do their own types of games. Or mods or whatever based off of it, but still have the canonical one that I'm developing on stream that people can, enjoy. And maybe if I, get the project done reasonably well, maybe I'll make another game on top of that or something, That's kind of the idea. So I'm hoping that the stream will be the product. That does mean I'm not going to be as quick, not by a long shot, at making the game because I can't do anything off stream apart from just kind of poking around, looking. For my own constraints, right? I'm not it's not like the world is telling me I can't do that, but I want people to see everything that happened in the game, so that's kind of one of my design goals. So it makes take a while. So technically, I've been working on it for 2 years. I've been working on it since November 2014, but that was first off with 2 restarts because of the of the Unreal Engine 4.11 to 4.12 bug I was talking about, and also because the first one, which I did from for over a year actually, it was from November to December. That one was started in a game jam, so it was really messed up. It was a one baked to one versus AI. I wasn't able to save the videos because Monster Cat at that time didn't let me buy a subscription to their music. They didn't have the option, but since then they've gave us a $15 per month subscription, so I started buying it, so now it's on YouTube. So I kind of restart from then because I didn't want to just pick up midway through. I want to kind of start from scratch and have people say, here's the start of the game, here's where I am. So I kind of restarted at one point. But the actual answer is about 2 years. So that's one of the problems too, because it's it took 2 years. Not really, but it took 2 years of actual physical time to do that, but 100 or 200 hours of work, right? And that's 100 or 200 hours of work of answering questions and being entertaining for the viewers, not just doing the game. And also, that also means that if you have a problem, you can't exactly go and, for example, look up YouTube videos, because I can't watch a YouTube video in a YouTube video. I mean, I technically could, but there'd be some problems where some of the creators, they'd be like, I don't want you to monetize this video. And I was like, well, okay then. So that means if I have a problem, I have to kind of work my way through it, or do something else, and then shut off the stream, look at the video, and then next time hope that the video I saw the night before will help me fix the problem, and if not, then I have to kind of go back and do it again, and it gets a bit long and tedious. So, but again, that's kind of my constraints of showing all my work as well as not infringing copyrights. So there is some concerns about that, but yeah, as I answered the question, I hope. So yeah, it's technically about 2 years, but that's technically, right? It definitely doesn't look like 2 years of work. So now I need to find out what the heck is the problem with this. Oh, maybe what I can do is, can I do a watch? I mean, I could look at tutorials on a web browser, but I don't really, you know. Firefox Stream. I use multiple Firefox profiles, so that way when I'm on stream, only the tabs that are relevant to the stream are there, and I also don't have to open and close tabs. Gonna stare at my blueprints for a bit? Okay. Actually, to be honest with you, most of the stuff is in C++. But, yeah. Like, this is an actor I put in the level that handles replication of the selected map mode and preset. Because it's easier to replicate an actor. And I mean, I could have put those on the player controller or something, but it's easier to have it in a level. A bit more contained, so I don't have that just floating around. In the game itself, like in an actual level. Okay, so blueprints, watch variable. V4, because blueprint debugging. Okay, there's a... watch values. So debug tab and do blueprint debugger. Okay, let's try this. Window, debug. Widget host combo box. Cool, but what's my watch? I'll try to say after a breakpoint is hit. Come on. But what if I can't access it through a breakpoint? Because I can't see if the breakpoint's being hit. Unless I can break on a condition. Okay, so this is the problem I'm going right now. So I need to debug a value, see why it never switches. But in order for me to do that, I have to flip something in the UI, but I can't do that when it's broken. But when I flip it, it doesn't break, and I want to know why, right? So I need to find some way I can inspect the variable without, to see what part of, basically, what part of this condition is causing it to not go. So if it's not changed, but they are host. If the current selection doesn't equal the Comebox selection, because if it's equal but false, then it sets it. But this is not being called. Unless no, I'm locked. So on their lesson server. Step into. Oh. Okay, this is not even being called. So it has not changed. Their host. Okay, so this is not even broke. What? Why is this not breaking? So these aren't ticking. Alright, that our switch menu host is for some reason. Confused. Let's see if there's an actual bug here. So, actually, no. Let's do one more thing here first. So it's event tick here. So let's do an add breakpoint here, and then inside. Where was that inside? Oh, I need to remove this. So it is going there. Okay. So this is being ticked. So why? Why am I getting the error here? So, okay, so we want has not changed. Well, of course, but yeah. So add breakpoints, remove breakpoints, play. So there we are. Resume. No debug data. Move the breakpoint here, go there. In case you're wondering, I'm actually looking in two monitors here. But it's not showing me anything useful, so that's why I'm not showing you the other monitor. Current value is true, so yeah. Watch is valuable. Current variable is true. True, true. Now I want to see what happens right as I... There, so, pause. Pause. CTF. Zoom. Favorite point. Ah, come on. Okay, I did it wrong. There we are. So there. So pause. Resume. Okay, so toggle breakpoints. Resume. And then toggle breakpoint. I can't move. I can't change it then. Shoot. So it's ticking even though it's paused. Was that right? Resume. Pause. Toggle breakpoint. Yeah, it's ticking even though it's paused. I want to know why it's not changing. This is so frustrating. Okay. So screw that. Print. In string. There we are. CTF blank blank, okay. So is current selection blank then? There we are. CTF blank blank. So they're equal because they're both blank, but that makes no sense. Okay. Okay, so if these are equal, I can actually remove them, watch. So if these are equal and current selection not not equal string. Not equal string. So if it's not empty, there we are. So let's see if this works. Well, it's still okay. So it's still gonna set it to empty. Okay, so there we are. I can move this closer here. I don't know why I was expecting that to work because it would just said, like, if you're empty, set it again. It's empty, but still set it at empty, right? So the problem is I'm not setting it correctly. So current selection needs to be set up properly. So why is that the case? So when we populate map comma box, oh, so okay. Something wrong in here then. So if name of preset doesn't equal select or equal selected reset, okay, so it's setting the name of preset, which is here, but it's not setting it in there. Should be though. So it should be set. So why is it being unset? So it's breaking what's not being called. So it gets the only menu setup helper. Let's see what's going on here. So it's never being called. Well, I don't quite know why it does sometimes an exclamation point. Event graph is where I need to go. Okay, so tech. Tick tick tock. been over an hour on this one bug. And I still haven't been figuring it out. Unless the problem is some sort of weird lag thing because it's a replicated variable. So I'm setting it, but I'm waiting it, but it's not being checked and blah blah blah, right? You know what? Screw it. Let's see if... oh, I can't do that. Actually, the mode doesn't matter because that's top level. Let's see if this will fix the issue. Close my debug tab. Let's see. Do I have any breakpoints? Actually, I closed my debug tabs. Do I have any breakpoints? Should have checked it before I closed it, shouldn't I? Okay. So it was apparently a lag issue. I don't recognize this song.
I don't wanna play our silly games, but I know that I can't change who you are.
There we go.
Now I know you made me lose control. You took my mind. You took my mind. Now I know you made me lose
Okay.
control. You took my mind.
So I say that, oh no, we spent over an hour on this bug, can't find it, and within the next 3 minutes I figured it out. And then this is limited there, and let's see, Siege. Yeah, because cross-stream is only about possible one, PvP, there we are, okay. So, Git. So we've solved the issue. So we don't have any issues with this. I believe Unreal Engine's pretty good about not leaving files open, but just in case, I'm gonna close it down so that way I make sure it catches everything. So CD, Unreal Projects, check it. Git status, git add AM, fix combo box lag issue for host. Whoops. Git commit AM. I was gonna put 2 T's in it and a commit, I mean. So, this is probably a sign I should stop for a day, but I'm not. I'm gonna break it if I have to. So let's go back into it. So now I got 2 options. I could work on the player list, which doesn't rely on this state, or I can go into the spawn list, which does rely on this, and could end up, for some reason not launching the air monitor, and could end up causing some problems. Let's do the one that could cause some problems. Why not, right? Okay, so widget spawn slot. It's here. So now we have 3 more variables that we need to replicate properly in the exact same way. The reason why I say that is because the map and mode will dictate how many player slots you have, so they will need to change that. So they need to not put fire an event because it's on themselves, but they will need to call a function that will change the number of these get spawned. So yeah, fun. Hey, so I probably need to collapse all of this. Collapse nodes. And we'll call this update. Sorry, tick. Mode map preset. To make my event graph look a little bit nicer, and we'll collapse these nodes to into default mode map preset. Come on. And I'll call this out. Get my event graph here. Route. Let's not get rid of this and go to my event graph. Just have this. So I have a default mode map presets. I have a tick mode map preset, which are basically macros, but they're just not listed in my macro function. And if that didn't cause any issues, it should just behave as expected. So here we are. We change to CTF, and it still is chessboard, but Siege has no chessboard, and this is still synchronized properly. So player defend. Oh, what's wrong with you? Just when you think you're done. Blah. So I think what I'm going to need to do is actually take some time, maybe next time, and draw a flowchart, like an actual in Photoshop flowchart of what I need to do, because, and I mean, it's a lot of stuff to keep in your head, especially when you're trying to talk and be entertaining at the same time. But clearly I'm having some problems doing events. Hey, little big kids. I'm clearly having some problems keeping straight in my head what needs to be updated at one point. So I'm doing a lot in tick, which is not the best. I'd rather have some events be called and then go on that event. But I can't really get an event from inside a child blueprint because I can't have the child call up, right? I mean, if it was child in the sense of object inheritance, you can call a parent function, no problem. But it's a contained value object. So I wouldn't know what I'm attached to. I mean, I know what I'm attached to. I'm attached to the screen, but from an object standpoint, I don't know what I'm attached to. I can be attached to anything. I can be spawned by anything. So I wouldn't know what the upstream would be. Or do I? No. I was thinking, because it's placed in the level, I could have a reference be added to it. But it's placed in the designer, though. It's not placed by me by hand, it's placed in the designer. Oh, you make it games that's rain. Cool. Awesome. So yeah, this all needs to go again, but we're getting closer, but yeah. It needs some serious overhaul so I can easily add some stuff to it. Yeah, so I'm gonna call it a day. So thanks everyone for watching and have a good night. And we will probably tomorrow after the. By the way, the animation I'm working on is gonna launch supposedly tomorrow morning. It's not for me to do it. It's actually for my boss. So if everything goes to plan, he'll have it up tomorrow morning. So yeah, maybe a very happy stream depending on how well that does. But yeah, I think we're going to need to redo the big chunk of the logic of this. I mean, not the entire game, not creating a project like this one object, this one UMG widget. But yeah, I need to contain it a bit better, more accurately determine what's going to cause functions to be called where, and what each has their access to. What is accessed in the create game screen, and what is accessed in the actual widgets, and what gets updated where. So I have an idea of what's going on. Because if I'm doing too much ping-ponging, then I'm going to have some bugs. As you can see, there's bugs happen. Because I'm thinking I'm updating something here, but it's updating over there, or it's updating in two places, or something like that, right? So, we'll see. So, thanks for watching, and see you all next time. And yes, the animations I'm talking about is kind of like this, so, yeah. This is also done in Blender.